Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading for the month of March for the elemental energy of air. Air covers the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you're Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or have air high up in your chart, then this message is for you. And if you've never had your charts read, there is a link in the description. It's not a sponsored link, but it's to a natal chart by Llewellyn. It gives you your 12 houses with all the little signs and symbols, and then there's a 10 to 20 page description of what all that means. There's also a section in there on your elemental alignment. It's just more of a convenience for you guys if you're looking for a chart and you've never had one yet. They're pretty detailed for being a basic one. But with that, we will get started with the reading. And air, we cast the hexagram before the video. You got the very first hexagram in the set, which is the creative principle. Literally just a bunch of lights. And the text is actually fairly long for this one, so bear with me. The creative principle, sublime success. Persistence in a righteous course brings reward. The concealed dragon avoids action. The dragon is perceived in an open space, and it is advantageous to visit the great man. The superior man busies himself the whole day through, and evening finds him thoroughly alert. Disaster threatens, but no error. Leaping about on the brink of a chasm, the dragon's wings across the sky, it is advantageous to visit a great man. A willful dragon cause for regret, and a brood of headless dragons is good fortune. So, like I said, there's a lot there. But basically what we're looking at is you want to seek advice here with the very first hexagram from someone who is been there, done that, the superior person. So if you're wanting to open a business, someone who already opened a business. If you are wanting a promotion, someone who's been promoted before. Look for the thing that really helps support you and helps you expand, is what they're saying here. This is not a period of time for our air family to, I will do it all myself. Probably not the best decision. You really want to make sure you're getting the support you need as you're going forward here. So that's what this message is bringing out. So our foundation line here. The concealed dragon refrains from action. What does this signify? So if you're trying to fly under the radar here, because that's that concealed dragon energy, what does it signify? It really is saying you may not be feeling ready to step out of the privacy. You're maybe not ready to step out and open that business just yet. And this could be the first part of the month, or this could be just the month as a whole. You know you need to do the next step, but you're not really sure if you're ready to. So you're kind of pausing, you're not taking any action, and that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's necessary to think things through. Air, that is your strength. That is where you are actually the best. So this is a good time for you to reevaluate the situation and see what's really going on here. So your second line, the dragon is perceived in an open space. It is advantageous to visit a great man. So when we look at this, the dragon is perceived in an open space. It is advantageous. Other people can tell that you're already out. Like, you think you're hiding. That's a great illusion that air is good at sometimes. But the reality is people can observe you. People are paying attention to you because they've been watching how you've built up the steps. And that's where they're like, what's air going to do next? Where are they going with this? And you have the advantageous to visit a great man. This is Source's energy coming in saying, if you're still on the fence or you're not quite sure what next step to take, find someone who's done the process you're going through and see how they did it. You may not follow their path exactly, and you probably shouldn't, but at least get their advice on what to do next. And I just heard this. If you've been thinking about proposing to that certain someone and you're nervous as all get out, find one of your friends who recently proposed and ask them how they felt, because what I'm getting right now is this is not a new sensation for this situation. Like, proposing to your partner is not something simple, and most people get the jitters for it. So just knowing that someone else has been through it that you personally know, it will actually help bring that energy down for you. It's not going to take it away, but it's going to help with the long term. So see how that plays out for our air family. Our third place line. The superior man busies himself the whole day through. An evening finds him thoroughly alert. Trouble threatens, but he is not at fault. The superior man stays busy. There's no real lazy time for them. Now, when we think about busy in the Western societies, we're thinking, so you get up in the morning, you have your coffee, and you're off to work. You work your 12-hour shift, you come home, and you keep working at home. And then when you're ready to go to bed, your mind just won't shut up. So you're constantly alert all night. That's not quite how it is, especially when this particular text was written. Busies himself the whole day through. There's no idle time, whether it's in meditation, whether it's in contemplation, whether it's in artistic pursuits. This person is staying consistently busy and occupied. And that's the difference between how the West sees it and the more Eastern cultures do. And it says, evening finds him thoroughly alert. Trouble threatens, he's not at fault. Even though you're just constantly on the go in this type of idea, it's not exhausting, and that's why they would stay more alert towards the end of the day. And when it says trouble threatens, he's not at fault, in other words, this person has done so much that they may have missed something that might end up becoming a problem later, but they're not at fault because that particular situation was sneaking under the radar. It wasn't like out and loud, it was more of like a subtlety sneaking in, and that's why the superior person is not at fault in that situation. So our fourth place line is, leaping about on the brink of a chasm, he is not as at fault. This is where you start to dance a little bit, Air, because your energy tends to walk at the knife edge anyway. Your tarot association is the swords, so tap dancing along that knife edge is not uncommon for you. So leaping about on the brink of a chasm, why are you playing on the risk of failing, is what this is saying. And you're not at fault, because you have to take a risk to be able to succeed. And for Air, you're dancing along the chasm because you know you can fly. So it's not like it's a huge deal if you, whoops, I slipped, but you're going to land somewhere better anyway. So for you, this is actually a positive energy. You're leaping about on the chasm, but you're not at fault because you know that you can deal with whatever's coming. You have the knowledge to do so. You just happen to be flirting with this risk right now because you know that if the risk pans out, huge reward. Even if the risk doesn't pan out, great knowledge. So Air is good right there. So let's move on to our fifth place line. The dragon wings across the sky. It is advantageous to visit a great man. Like I said, tap dancing along that chasm, even if you fell off, you're still flying, and it's time to go visit the great man. This is not really a suggestion for the month of March for Air. You need to go to talk to whoever this person is who's above your situation. You might be on a really good place, but there's always someone who's been there, done that before you, and that's what they're wanting to say is seek out this counsel this month. This is going to alleviate a lot of issues. It's going to at least give you something else to mull over, so it's not just you against the world. It's, okay, others have done this and they've succeeded. They showed me the pitfalls that they had. I may not resonate exactly with their path, but now at least I know what some of the issues that might come up are, so I can avoid them. And that's what's really important for Air this month. Our capstone, our top one here is, where are we at? There. A willful dragon has cause for regret. What does, so you don't want to get too stuck in, I can do it all myself, because that is the willful dragon. That's, I'm not going to listen to anyone else. I'm going to do it myself. Okay, you may not do so well when you really get down to brass tacks there. And that's where this energy of the superior man is so important this month. Because if you're the willful dragon, you're not going to listen to anyone else. You're going to do it yourself. Be ready to have regret. Be ready to not end up where you would like to be. And be ready to trip along the way. Now, does that mean you're going to fail? Probably not. Because Air doesn't usually fail when they put their mind to something. But does it mean it might take longer? Does it mean it might end up running into a wall that shouldn't have been there? Does it mean that you might trip and fall into a pothole? That's where that not looking for advice or seeking counsel is coming in for you, Air. So this month is really more introspective for you, and getting things clear to yourself is what I'm getting from the I-ching. So it's not about rushing forward. It's more of, what do I know? What don't I know? What do I need to learn? Who can I use as a superior person to where I'm standing so that I can excel and get beyond all of this and skip a lot of the potholes? So with that, let's break down the month week by week. There are approximately 4.5 weeks in March, so we'll do 4 weeks plus the bonus week because it's like a half week. Each week we look at a guide or guardian, we look at a message from source, and then we get some more clarification from the tarot. Before we do that, like, comment, and subscribe. If you are intuitive yourself, or if you happen to catch a little glimpse of something that's I'm not bringing out in the cards, feel free to leave that in the comments. It's always fun to hear what other people's impressions are from these different cards that I'm using. So with that, we'll hop into our weeks. This is your first week in March. We have the Angels of Harmony and Resolution. So Air, I'm getting this impression the reason that you're having this questioning time coming up in March is you've wrapped up one big project or one big situation, and now you're stepping into the next one and you're not quite sure how to play this out. But the Angels of Harmony and Resolution are coming in to say you work with the energy of balance, Air, so this is not uncommon for you. And when you step into that place of harmony, it's showing that through balance is beauty. And that's where you're going to excel. And when you understand that, the resolutions of the past, whether it's a vision board you've been working on, whether it's a New Year's resolution, whatever that is, you've completed a fair amount of that already, and it's only March. But now you get to, in this first week, understand the part that you have that you've let go of, that you've released, and now you can move forward, finding that new harmony and balance. So your message from source is the 7 heavenly virtues. I think this is shown up in all of the readings for March. So look to your personal code of conduct and your personal ethics and values. That is going to be a huge one. If you've never actually sat down and thought about that, this is a good time in this first week to get clear on that. And with the Harmony and Resolution Angels, this is probably going to be a super quick and easy task for you, Air, because you already know what you value. You already know where your ethical stances are. So to write down your core values on a piece of paper is going to be like, next, you just whip it out and you're done because you've already done so much of this inner work. And that's the energy that's coming up for this first week for you from Source is, if you've never contemplated what you value, what your personal code of ethics are, conduct and things like that, this is a good time to do that this first week of March. Because with the I-ching, it talks about there's a lot of things being available, but there are also steps where you want to make sure you're clear on, and working with these personal virtues and values are actually going to be beneficial down the road. And if you're not sure where to start, you can literally look up the 7 heavenly virtues and see which ones they have down. Those are the basics for pretty much life in general. But then you can help sort and figure out what your personal ones are as well. Now, moving on to our message from the tarot, we have the 4 of Wands. So the 4 of Fire, I have to edit this one because it's special. I love this deck, but this is the problem with it. With that, the 4 of Wands in this situation is saying that there is someone who's willing to help. But see, Air, you're this person. You're this one sitting down like, you mean I have to get up? I have to have help? Yes, you have actions to take. And that's where this energy over here, this is your superior person that's coming in to support you. And Tarot is saying, this is the time where you might actually need the support. You don't usually, Air. That's one thing I am hearing pretty clearly for at least a few of you. You don't need the help normally. This month, this is biting that ego down, choking it down, and saying, you know what? I don't know what the next step is. Let's talk to somebody and heed some advice. See what else is being seen that you might be missing. And that's just really not that big of a deal in the long term, but it might not be the most comfortable thing for Air because they are the ones who carry wisdom and knowledge, and so for them to have to ask for help is not always the most comfortable thing. But this month it's actually going to be very beneficial to do so. So your second week's guide or guardian is the Angels of Self-Acceptance. This helps you understand where you're at. This is who you are at your core. This first week was just kind of getting more clear on the things that you value, where you're at. You might have to have some help this month, and that's not a big deal. The self-acceptance is saying now it's time to really peel away some layers of illusion. Just like the hidden dragon in the I-ching, just because you think you're hidden, like it says in the second line, you're not. You're perceived as being visible. So this is you understanding that people actually see more about you than you want to admit. But when we come to the terms of self-acceptance and the Angels of Self-Acceptance are coming in, it helps you see that and be like, okay, it's really not that big of a deal. Yes, they might see a flaw or two. Fine, I can deal with this. When you have your personal code of conduct figured out, it doesn't matter what those other people are seeing. But just be aware, you are being seen. So let's take a peek at your message from Source. And this, if you're curious about the Mystical Wisdom Oracle deck, it's by an artist named Josephine Wall, and her art style is just absolutely amazing. I love her work. And the message from Source is cheer up, live in the moment. Even if you might feel a little bit doubtful, and that's where these angels of self-acceptance are coming in so strong. These two energies together are saying when you learn to see that, yes, you have flaws, we all do, when you start to see through the illusion of what we project to the public, which is your ego getting in the way, all of a sudden you can be more accepting of who you are, and that allows you to cheer up. That allows you to live in the moment. When we live in the moment, we're aware of the future, but we're not worried about it. We're aware of the past, but we're not having depression over it. We're looking at life in this moment. How can we make this particular second in time so powerful and magical that we don't have to worry about the future because we're having so much fun in this moment? And that's what Source wants to bring in, is have fun as you go through this month. Yes, you might need to seek out some professionals. You might need to seek someone who's been there, done that. But enjoy this process. And Air, you love knowledge and wisdom and learning anyway. So use this as more of a tactical tool so that you get to experience and expand, and it's not just, I need help. It's, I get to learn something new today. So if you use it like that, especially for Air, this is going to work out really fun for you. Your message from the tarot, again with fire. So you might be having some passion interests coming up, and that could be passion for an art, passion for a project, passion for your partner, and because you have the King of Wands coming in, been there, done that, and you don't have to worry about other people begging for attention because you don't need that. That's what this is saying, is you have accomplished so much that you can literally stand on your own, Air. But in these certain situations, you're going to need to seek out the superior person and ask them for advice or counsel. And what I'm hearing is you might actually have a friend who is a fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that has started the business, who's achieved a promotion, who has proposed to the right person, whatever it is, and you might need to seek them out for some advice, counsel. Again, you don't have to take it all, but listen to what they have to say, because there's something there with the wisdom aspect of it that it would be advisable to just hear them out. And it could be just a change in perspective. So see how that plays out for our Air family. Our third week's guide or guardian is healing energy. And this could also be seen as Archangel Raphael, which is the angel of East and Air. So this is really tapping into the source of air, if we're going to be really honest here. And when we look at this healing energy, it's saying, Air, what is it that you have not? What is it you've not released yet? What is it that you're carrying an inner wound about? Whatever comes to the mind first is write it down so that you have an idea of what it is. And allow yourself the gift of acknowledging it, forgiving it, and releasing it. The healing angels are coming in. Like I said, Raphael is a really strong one. If it's emotional injury, you might bring in Archangel Gabriel as well. But when you're working with these angels to heal the past, it's allowing you to free yourself to the future. You're clearing out something that has been carrying and being heavy. This could end up being a little bit of shadow work, is what I'm hearing. So see how that works for you. But like I said, it's working to clear out things from the past. And the first thing that comes to mind when you hear that phrase is the one that's ready to be released in that moment. So write it down. How can you work through it? Pray about it. Talk to God's source. Involve the angels. And it could be you might need to go talk to someone professional in that range, a counselor or a therapist, something like that, so that you can actually get this out and free yourself from it. Because whatever it is, it's no longer serving you, and it's actually becoming a millstone. So getting rid of that's a good thing. Your message from Source is confrontation. This could very well be a shadow issue, and picking your battles wisely. When we think about this, it's not so simple as, I'm going to fight this thing. No, you're going to confront it, and you're going to be like, why are you still bothering me? Why are you still energetically in my field? You don't have to go to the person. Actually, don't go to the person. That's a bad idea. But when you can confront the energy, confront the self-doubt, confront this negative thought pattern, and when you do, make sure you're ready to deal with the response, because sometimes the energy you'll come up against it and be like, well, why are you doing this? Why are you still worried about so-and-so? You haven't spoken to them in 20 years. And then you have to look into reflection and be like, wait, that's true. Why am I carrying this around? So be ready when you do this confrontation. It says pick your battles wisely, because it could end up being something that smacks you right in the face for that moment, because you have to reflect then. And that's where you want to make sure you're ready for these releases. It's not, and I was having this discussion in real life the other day, it's not an airy-fairy thing. When you get into spirituality, it can be very visceral. It can be very, for lack of a better word, gory, because you have to peel away layers of who you were, so that you can release the pain, the tension, the frustration. And sometimes those battles, if you go too far, too fast, can really mess with you. And that's why you want to take the first thing that comes to mind, work on that. Don't go digging around in your shadow. And that's what this confrontation is. Picking your battles wisely. The first one that comes up, deal with that. Don't worry about the rest of it. You'll get to that. We have a lifetime of stuff shoved in our shadow. We have a lifetime ahead of us to sort through it. Don't try to do it all in one time, because that's really not going to benefit you. And that message is for everybody, not just air on this one. So let's hop over to our message from the tarot and see if we're in fire again. We have, I have to edit this one. I am not good with Roman numerals. 17, the star energy. And with this one, it's saying aim high. When you start setting these goals, when you really start pushing yourself air, you always end up succeeding in ways that other people didn't expect. But for this month, when you're seeking out this vice, you're cleaning things out of your own field, what I'm hearing, when they would actually be clear about it, is shoot as high as you possibly can. If you want to open that business, you want to open the biggest business. Not right off the bat, but you want to aim that direction. You want to propose to that person, you want it to be the most romantic. Plan on how you want to see that play out. What is your partner, future partner, what are they like? Research that. You want to get clear, and you want to aim above wherever everyone else is aimed. Because what I'm hearing with this is the stars are calling. The stars are aligned in your favor, so you have a lot of opportunities here. There's also some inner work that needs to be adjusted, and when you do that, and you're seeking out this counsel, this sounds like a lot for 1 month, but it's really something that for air is going to be easy. You multitask better than really any other energy. So these are things that you're working on, and this is a way to move forward. And this third week is really getting clear on a lot of this stuff. So, I think a bird hit my window. That'll be fun. Hopefully not. I don't see them, but I just heard the noise. So, let's see. We have a fourth week here. This is Learning Experience Angels for your guides and guardians. This month is actually, if you look at it from the energy of what can I learn from this and how can I expand from this, everything that's going on is actually going to be fun for you. Maybe not in the moment, but afterwards you'll be like, actually I needed that. I wanted that to happen. So this learning experience is here to help you really embrace the changes in life in a way of fun and enjoyment. Even the challenges for air, because you get to learn something, you get to experience something new, you get to add it to your repertoire of wisdom and knowledge. This is all something that you were ready for. You've been you completed projects the first part of the year, but in the end of the first quarter here in normal Gregorian calendars, you're ready to start the next chapter. And it's interesting, this is the last full week of March that we're getting this, because you've seen, you've done, you've experienced, you've sought out the guidance that you've looked for, and then now you're ready to shoot for the stars and go beyond. And the learning experiences are what's really the enjoyment. Like, your success is great, but you're actually enjoying the learning process even more, and you don't have to say that ever out loud, because people look at you funny when it's like, but you just went through a challenging part of your life. Why are you smiling? Air, keep that to yourself and just be like, because I know that I learned a lot there. Wasn't the most pleasant experience, but I came out on the other side with knowledge, and I won't repeat those patterns. So, your message from Source is animal bonds standing up for those who are weaker. Well, when we look at this, it could be instead of, buying a dog from a breeder, adopting from a shelter. It could also be standing up for people who are seeking to grow as well. You've been looking through this month, learning, expanding, and growing, seeking out superior people to help you expand. And if someone comes to you seeking that same advice, this is your turn to do so as well. You share what you've learned, you share what you know, and this bond is actually more of a deeper bond that allows you to grow up but bring people with you. So as you go up, they come with you, because you are bonding with people and you're bonding on a spiritual level, because some of these skills that you've acquired, Air, are really life skills, and other people may need them, but they don't know how to interpret them, access them, collect them. That's an air skill. So take that and allow yourself to, as you grow, share with others. Your message from the tarot is the Two of Swords, so 2 of your energy. Have fun with this journey. This is about knowing also when to have fun and when to be serious. Find that person you can hang out with that is just as goofy and laughy and fun as yourself, and when you do this, it creates a bubble of now moment energy, so you can break from all the seriousness and have fun on a relaxed state. And I know there's some of you airs out there that are like, chess is a fun game, and it is for some people, not me, but so do the things that help you relax and kind of unwind. Find the things that make you feel alive again and not stuck in, oh, I'm stuck in this horrible pattern. Find a new pattern. And that's literally what I'm hearing with that one. So our 5th week, which is the half week, our little bonus week here, we have the Blessings and Abundance Angels. This week is about appreciating and accepting the blessings that are coming in. Your abundance through this month has actually been picking the right path, picking the right opportunities, taking the advice, and that's opening the doors, and that allows you to experience blessings. And from those blessings, the abundance comes. Now, abundance does not always mean, the green dollars in your wallet. It can also be buying that house. It could also be that person said yes when you proposed. Abundance is an excess of joy, of energy, of whatever it is. So when you step into the frequency of abundance, how does abundance look for you, Air? And be clear with yourself. Well, don't just say, well, abundance is prosperity. No. What does abundance mean? And these angels in this 5th week are calling you to appreciate the blessings of what you've achieved this month. Well, through the year as well. But just the month alone, appreciate and be joyful for what you've achieved. Those are blessings. But then look at that and be like, how does this apply to abundance? Do I feel more fulfilled in my life? Do I have the love of my life with me now? Did I get that business started, or at least I know the next steps, so I'm abundant in wisdom and knowledge? Apply it in that respect and notice the difference in how you feel about it. It's not, well, I'm not abundant because I don't have any money. Yeah, but you just started a business. Money's not the first thing. You're successful in your business. You're making ends meet. You're actually paying off debt. Like, those are all abundance things. The person you proposed to said yes. You are planning a wedding. You're planning a ceremony. You're planning on buying a house together. Those are all abundance things. So when you look at it from that perspective, the blessings and abundance are saying, be grateful for what you have, but also realize just exactly how much you really have. So your message from Source is the Battle of the Blues. Take steps towards positive change. If you're not feeling truly abundant, or you're not feeling blessed this month by the end of it, these two energies are coming in to say, don't worry. It's not a permanent situation, but when you look at things from this perspective, the angels of blessing and abundance, this becomes something of a joy. You're not really depressed. You're more not seeing the forest for the trees. You're not really upset. You are comparing yourself to others. Air. That's not necessary. You've proven yourself this month. You don't need to worry about what other people think. Their opinions are their opinions. Everyone's got one. So take their opinions, observe them, acknowledge them, and then let them go. It's not worth carrying around. And by doing that in this 5th week and getting really focused on the gratitude of blessings for the abundance that you have, you're going to be able to release their opinions, because That's theirs. You can step in their stuff all day long. You don't need to. Now, your last message from the tarot is the number 10, the wheel. And when we look at this, everything is a cycle. And oddly enough, through this month, you've had ups and downs. You've been successful, you've learned, you've had to seek out advice because you're not really sure, you've had some self-doubt, you've also had growth. So when we look at the cycles of life, abundance is a concept. So when we look at it in that respect, yes, there's going to be down times, there's going to be up times. So much of what we see, notice she's blindfolded, is our perspective. It doesn't always have to be, it does not visibly look, okay, what's your perspective on this? Because if you start to adjust the perspective, man, this thing's not working right. Wait a minute, what's that over there? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. That's the problem, but there's a solution, so let's adjust. So when we start to realize that the wheel is literally just showing us cycles and patterns, this is where you get to unlock and release so much energy, but you also get to unlock and release and open doors for opportunities. So March for air is really going to be a growth aspect. Inner work, outer work, you have found this amazing balance that goes on here. So it's going to be, you're going to end up in a better place by the end of the month. You're going to have some ups and downs, but those ups and downs are also relative. It may not be the same for every person, obviously, it's a general reading, but by the end of the month, you're going to notice that you have learned, you've experienced, and you've stepped into the energy of blessings, abundance, and gratitude. And when you've done that, the battle of the blues disappears. The energy of the wheel is understood as a cycle pattern that keeps spiraling up. You never actually stop moving. It's just where you are in the vibrations. So with that, I will let you guys and gals go. I'll see you in the next video, and have a great month of March.